What up? Well met. This is Muscle and Magicka, and you, my friend, just accepted a quest. Well, it's really more of a minor objective. Actually, it's more like a random piece of lore that you didn't really ask for at the end of a quest line that you didn't want to start in the first place. Anyway, if you're at all familiar with the online fitness community, then you're probably aware of a character who's been building quite an audience lately on YouTube by calling out and starting beefs with larger, more popular YouTube channels and then using them as vehicles to further his vegan agenda. A character who goes by the name of Vegan Gains. Now look, I have held my tongue for as long as possible on this subject because this is a PvE channel, not a PvP channel, alright? Like my boy Shaolin says, ours is the unrelenting quest for truth. And as such, we have no use for petty squabbles and foolish posturing. However, as a knight of Muscle and Magicka, I am honor-bound to shed light upon truth wherever truth may lie, and there is a terrible, dark truth about Vegan Gains, a truth that I can no longer keep silent, a secret that, apart from him and myself, nobody knows. I mean, how could you? You don't know him like I do. Now, if you've seen any of his videos, then you probably realize that there's something of a physical resemblance between he and I. Now, obviously, he's a little taller, he's a little bit more lean, I'm significantly more handsome, but the fact remains that there is a physiological similarity between us, and the reason for that is that we are both part of the same race, the mulatto race. Now, what most people don't know is that mulattoes are actually not native to Earth. No, in fact, we come from a planet far away, a place aptly named Planet Mulatto. Unfortunately, Planet Mulatto was destroyed many years ago by an ultra-powerful being, and all of its inhabitants were forced to flee and take refuge on other planets, such as Earth. Now, what you have to understand is that, as a whole, we Mulatto were a peace-loving people. We didn't know war, we didn't know violence, and so when I arrived on Earth, I arrived unprepared, to put it lightly, for the viciousness, the corruption of humanity. I witnessed many atrocities which I could not have dreamt of in my darkest nightmares, none the least of which was this savage, brutal, barbaric mistreatment of animals. Now, after a time, I came to realize that if I was going to survive on this planet, I was going to have to expel this dark, negative energy that I picked up. And so it was that I decided to split myself. I split myself into two halves of one larger whole. I became Mulatto Rance, and this aggressive vegan energy that I expelled coalesced and became a new being known as Mulatto Richard. He's since obviously changed his name to Vegan Gains. Now, why am I telling you all this? What's my point? Well, my reasons are twofold. First of all, whether you love him or hate him, you gotta realize that Mulatto Richard, or Vegan Gains as you know him, is nothing if not a product of his environment. An environment that you, humans, created. So, I think it's high time that you started accepting a little bit of responsibility for your actions. Now, second, and more importantly, there may come a time in the very near future when a more severe, more malevolent being, such as the one that destroyed our planet, turns its attention towards Earth. Now, when that day comes, your only chance of survival may be for Mulatto Richard and Mulatto Rance to once again fuse together to become that ultimate being, that nameless mulatto, and defend the Earth. So, maybe you think his methods are a little extreme. Maybe you think his cause is unjust. Maybe you realize that he's just fighting for the only purpose he's ever known in the only way that he knows how. Whatever the case may be, you can't kill him. Because if you kill Mulatto Richard, I too pass away. And if that happens, the Dragon Balls disappear and nobody gets to make any wishes. So I hope you've gained some experience points from this. Like the video if you leveled up. And as always, if you want to join the main quest, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Mulatto Rance, logging out. You may have invaded my mind and my body, but there's one thing a mulatto always keeps: his pride!